Am I the a-hole for leaving my husband the night before his daughter's wedding? Throwaway and fake names. Wish this was fake. Sitting at an hotel beside myself. I know I'm trash. But I need to know if I am the a-hole for leaving or if I should go back for the wedding. I don't want him. My husband, Paul, and I have been married for 8 years. Today is actually our anniversary, but I don't really celebrate it. We spent the day driving hours to his step-daughter's wedding. Our relationship started while he was still married, which I fully admit was wrong. I know that makes me a bad person in a lot of people's eyes. I know I am horrible and deserve to rot.
But this isn't about that.
I've carried guilt about it ever since, and honestly, I don't blame anyone who thinks poorly of me because of it. I think poorly of me. I'm happy his ex remarried a few months after their divorce. She's been married longer than my husband and I have, and is very happy. His stepdaughter, Lily, is getting married tomorrow. Paul hasn't kept a strong relationship with her, but she invited him to the wedding. She insisted he come and bring me. I've tried everything in my wheelhouse to bridge their relationship. She's been hurt by his emotional absence, especially after we got together. Both his biological and stepchildren are in their 30s, and I've encouraged him many times to try rebuilding those relationships. He hasn't made the effort. I went as far as to reach out to his daughter and plan a surprise visit to have them meet up. We flew to her home state and had a weekend together. After we got home, I stayed in contact with her, but it tapered off. I felt weird speaking to her when Paul wasn't making an effort. I was surprised when she sent a wedding invite. I told Paul the first didn't want to go. It would be so disrespectful of me to go. Paul insisted he would not attend if I didn't go. His daughter really wanted him there. So against all sane reason, I told him I'd go. I didn't want her hurting. He reached out to his daughter and asked her if she was sure it was okay for him and I to attend. To which she responded extremely upset, letting him know that she expected him and her mother to behave like adults. That this wasn't about them but about her, and she wanted both of them there and their spouses. Recently, Lily invited him on a pre-wedding hike with her and some friends and family. He ignored the message for months. I was unaware. When she followed up shortly before we arrived, he told her he would attend the wedding but not the hike, and that he'd be taking my sons, from a previous relationship, hiking instead. My kids didn't come to the wedding. I was horrified. That message was so shitty and dismissive. I told him he needed to apologize. He said he had done nothing wrong and argued that he held back, that he didn't want to see her mom, his ex. I told him if he didn't plan to apologize to not attend the wedding, he was so insanely selfish and hurtful to his daughter. I wrote an apology and made him send it. She responded and asked again if he would please be there. She wanted to do a dance with him and her bio dad. Throughout all this, Paul has made the entire wedding about himself, how he doesn't want to see his ex-wife, how uncomfortable everything is for him. Meanwhile, his ex, despite having every reason to resent us, didn't prohibit him from being invited. He refused to see that. I pointed out that his ex didn't want to see him either, and it wasn't about him. He didn't want to attend any of the wedding events, 3 to 4 days of events. So I suggested that the day we were scheduled to arrive. Today we arrive after dark, so we don't cause any issues or make anyone uncomfortable, since he's refusing to participate in any other events besides the actual ceremony, despite his daughter basically begging him. He refused, and we arrived during their taco truck event. I am handicapped. The parking was directly in front of everyone. I suggested he go find his daughter. They saw us arrive. He declined. I was a nervous wreck, and so was he. I tried to make light of the situation and said, let's place a bet who gets stabbed first, you or me, and by who. He got really upset and said I was causing trouble. I said I was very nervous and having some kind of inside joke to ease the tension would help me navigate the horrible situation. More so, he was refusing to go see his daughter when we arrived. I told him it was rude. Later, he had a short, awkward conversation with his ex-sister-in-law. Afterward, I told him he couldn't expect people to treat him like nothing happened and asked him to not make it weird by trying to be friends with everyone. He told me I was the one making it worse, that I was overreacting, that he had done nothing wrong. I snapped. I told him he was selfish, that I was embarrassed to be there with him, and that I thought we were supposed to be a team. That even in the awkwardness and discomfort, we'd face it together in the shadows, not making anyone else uncomfortable. But he decided to go outside and stare at the group. I asked him to stop, and he got mad at me. He said he didn't say or do anything wrong, including the text to his daughter. I couldn't believe that he really thought he did nothing wrong. I called him selfish, self-centered, and a martyr. The victim every time. I got my keys and left. A few hours later, he texted me asking where I was. I told him I would not be retuning until the day we checked out, that I would not add stress to the wedding or be a part of his ridiculous behavior. He said I ruined our anniversary and could not believe I was doing this to him. I booked another hotel and am currently here trying to figure out my life. I don't want to add stress to anyone from the bride to her family. It's really unfair that he doesn't care that he's hurt his kid. He says I'm the issue. Am I the a-hole for leaving? Should I go back for the ceremony?